Kurt and I, Nate and Austin are going to go back up into the prairie where we were yesterday evening. Look at that, the breaks down into all of those coulees and all of that brush. And I just feel real good that we're going to end up turning up a buck that we're going to want to get after. So the winds died down a little bit, so we're hoping once we break out of this bottom where we stay, there's going to be a little bit more wind. Ideally, we need to have 8 to 12 mile an hour winds to cover up our sneaking and stalking. It is so dry out here right now. So we'll probably, if everything goes right, the deer will be on their feet for a couple hours after daylight, and we got the SIG spotters, so we're going to have some eyes in the skies, and I bet within 7:30 or so we're going to have our eyes on a nice deer that we're going to go after. So.
I've been in the darkness for 40 days. I've been searching for holy flames, a sign to light up the way. So can you help me out? Can you help me out?
Spot like 2 deer. By the time I got the spotter on, they tucked in the brush. Now we can't turn up one single deer. So we're not going to wait for action. We're going to make it. So we're going to sash it around, go to the west, get up on some more vantage points, and look at areas that we didn't see yesterday. So we're in for a little bit of a hike. Join us in this prairie march. We're seeing deer. Just had 2, maybe 3 bucks. One shooter, older deer, good mass, good width. And at 700 yards, the little 18-month-old deer busted us. Took the big buck with him. I think they're doing kind of a semicircle. So we got up to this high point. Now we're going to glass. See if we can pick them up over here. I can see a deer where they came from, but it looks small. Doe or fawn. And we got the 2 small bucks over here in this block. This just opens up now. We can really do some glassing. So pretty exciting that we've seen 4 to 5 bucks in the last 15 minutes. is supposed to be right there. Underneath this little thing. We got pretty close. We got in his home, that's for sure. But he went down in this crack right here, and he stayed in that bottom of that crack, and we never saw him. He slid right over there, and he was bedded up in the shadows, and just a little bit of a deal. He caught our scent. Saw him flash, and just for a split second, I couldn't get the rangefinder out of my pocket fast enough. He was about 65 yards, but it would have been done. So that was our first official mule deer stalk, 2020, South Dakota Prairie Prowlers. It's like this. We're gonna pump it up. We got to get excited here. We got to get wound up. We've been disillusioned. We've been humiliated. We're going to quantify, qualify, signify, justify why we're here. And right now, we let a buck get away from us. We got in tight on him. But he zigged and we zagged and we had him. He come up out of there, just out of our range. He was about 150 yards and he wouldn't quite go there with a bow. No, we had him at about 65.
I have a 140-yard pin.
No, he did a nice stalk. He was down there. They got him on video. He went down a little crack, and he just went further than we thought.
It's deeper than we thought.
And it's just, and the thing about it is, that was a toughie because it wasn't like we're gonna walk up and shoot him in his bed. It was hard. It was like he was gonna make a move and then hopefully crawl up out and offer a shot. And we probably got within 40 yards of him, and he got our scent, got our wind, and snuck out and popped up at about 65, and just like that, he was broadside. If we had a muzzle loader or something like that, different story. But yeah. Jump in one of these bail blinds with Nate, film him, and then Austin's gonna jump in with me. So it's literally probably 3/4 of a mile walk to get around. The whole idea is getting back here before, get in here before the deer all start pulling out of their beds and showing up in this hayfield, because there's gonna be several deer, probably as much as 100 on this alfalfa by dark. And so our whole idea is get in here at 3 in the afternoon. It is hot, 82 degrees, and get set up before the deer start really pouring into the field at 5 and so forth. So we're real hopeful. We're sure we're going to see some deer. There's already a half a dozen white-tailed does out there right now, so we're going to spook them walking in. But ultimately, there's literally a 2-mile horseshoe where deer can come in and come out, cross the river. Some are going to be bedded on our side, but this is our second full day. We haven't killed anything yet. We haven't even gotten close, really. So this is a big opportunity, we think, this evening. So this will be our first sit on this alfalfa field. So usually that first sit is when you have your best shot at killing something big. So we're pretty excited. Our spot. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm glad I didn't order a chili dog. Okay, I understand. but behind us and Kurt's 200 yards to our right or to the east. And if deer come in behind him, it's likely they're going to set him before they get to us. So we're going to key on the deer coming from the east going west. And we'll see how it plays out. But we're pretty upbeat for this afternoon. We're going to see a lot of deer. There's already 2 does 800 yards down the alfalfa field. It's a very, very large alfalfa field. So that is a big buck, a heavy 5x5 whitetail. He's about 350, 400 yards away. Hopefully by dark, he'll come by later this evening. There's 3 big bucks out there right now. There's probably 12 bucks altogether. 50 to 60 deer throughout this alfalfa field. Well, if we can just get him to come by close enough, we'll be in good shape. Really cool. 2 bucks. A little bit. Well, I guess we don't have to decide whether or not this is a good spot. Those deer literally came out of this ditch behind us 10 yards from these bales, walking away at an angle, all kinds of shooting. I hope I didn't mess up by not shooting that second buck. He's one of them deer you kind of have to think about. And I was really hoping to get one of those that you don't have to think about when you see him. You just know you want to shoot him. That deer didn't do that to me, so I hope I didn't goof up by not taking a shot at him. Man, we had a great afternoon hunt. We saw a lot of deer. It's pretty much everything we were hoping for.
We expected to see a lot of deer, and we did not get disappointed.
No, but then we got to see 3 other pretty real nice deer. I'd say they were 4.5 years old. Anyway, make a long story short, none of the bucks that we were kind of wanting for, or we were wanting to come by us, came by us. And
I had one close.
Yep.
I hope I didn't make a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, Kurt had a nice 4x4, real clean, nice and tall. Just didn't have a lot of mass.
He just was too spindly.
Yeah.
I
I think you ultimately made the right call.
You know.
We had that north wind, and our wind was blowing where they were coming from, and that cost, especially at the end there. That was a nice mature deer. He got wind of us, and it wasn't going to play out. So we got out of there. And now we'll pay attention to what the wind's going to be doing tomorrow. We may pop up a ground blind and be a little more strategic depending on the wind, and we'll see. But tomorrow morning we're going to be right after doing some spot and stalk for mule deer, and temperature dropped pretty good this evening, so I think tomorrow morning will be a good morning. We'll check the wind and get that right, and we're going to go back to a place that a dear friend of ours who's 3-4 years in a row, and he called it the bachelor pad. And he didn't see very many few does, and then mule deer bucks just appeared, and so we're gonna go back and trek that same ground and try to pull that off. It's probably been 3 years since we've done it this way, so we're excited about that.
At one time in the field, Ken, I was up over 70
Yeah.
on the field, and there were deer behind. So there were 100 deer.
Yeah,
100 deer
within our
within.
deal. So anyway, had a great day today. Weather was great, and tomorrow morning we're gonna get after it again. We got a few more days to hunt, so we're not gonna let up. We're not worried about shooting one the first day, because now tomorrow we'll be into our third day.
What is that?
I just now seen his eyes walking.
Whoa,
So there's one
that is a huge spot.